Hey there, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Radcliffe.
You're watching Facebook Live or YouTube Live. On the screen there, Tim Clinton of Family Talk. And look at that setup, Dan. Amazing.
It is fancy.
Tim, how are you?
Great. Thanks for having me, Rick. Hey, nice to be with you, Dan. Hey, we're just trying to keep up with y'all, boys.
It looks good. You sound good. We appreciate what you guys do. And specifically, what do you do there with Family Talk?
I co-host with Dr. Dobson the radio broadcast, and I actually anchor out of Lynchburg, Virginia, just outside of Lynchburg, a little town called Forest, Virginia.
Yeah.
And so we've been having fun with Dr. Dobson for quite some time. And I had an organization, the American Association of Christian Counselors.
Awesome. You can hear Family Talk, by the way, on Faith Talk Atlanta, Monday through Friday at 12:30. Find out more on our website, faithtalkatlanta.com. How did you get that gig? What did you do before?
I have no idea, Rick.
Just one day you woke up and you had a microphone in front of you and you said,
I've been following Dr. Dobson since I was a student early on in my days when I was going through Liberty. Got a master's degree in counseling, went on and got my doctorate from the College of William and Mary. Got involved in the Christian counseling movement and been doing that for quite some time. Been at Liberty University for a long, long time. And Doc and I became friends, and it's been a joy. You talk about a reservoir of just life and information and a spirit that's unbelievable.
Yeah, we love that. Oh, that's I love that.
Yeah. And speaking of Liberty, man, I've been up there several times because my daughter went there. Lynchburg, that town, they've got some good restaurants. Let's not get off the subject, but they've got some really good restaurants for being a little town like Lynchburg.
Yeah, not bad. Cracker Barrel, things like that.
This place called McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, they're really great.
Yeah, Burger King.
Now, wait a minute. You weren't at the Cracker Barrel when Dr. Dobson came in and said, hey, I want that guy. Come on.
Doc and I have eaten at a few Cracker Barrels. I can tell you that.
Love those biscuits and cornbread.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Tim, we did want to talk about the Extraordinary Women Conference coming up. We'll do that in a second. It's the 21st at First Assembly Griffin. Some amazing folks going to be there. Sheila Walsh is one. We'll mention the others in a second. We were talking about mental health. We just finished the Olympics, and I say we, obviously Dan and I were not involved in the Olympics, but we did.
Speak for yourself.
But we did watch. But a lot of the topic in this Tokyo Olympics, mental health.
Yeah, big
what do you
time
think
issue.
about that?
Yeah. Prior to the pandemic, we had a mental health crisis in our country and around the world, really. Since the pandemic hit with the lockdowns and then the racial trauma and the rioting, the election mess, throw it all in there. We have a mental health disaster going on. Pretty much everywhere I look, everyone I talk to, they're saying, Tim, major upticks in stress and anxiety, especially for women. A lot of women are saying, listen, it's off the charts for me. I'm not where I used to be. Worry a lot more. Of course, there's a lot of reasons to worry, but you're seeing a real uptick in depression, even suicidality. I was reading this morning. This was wild. I picked this up from an author. Emily Smith is her name. She wrote a book called The Power of Meaning, Crafting a Life That Matters. In it, she stated this: about 1/5 of Americans say that loneliness is a major source of unhappiness in their life. Even more than that, she found this, that over 1/3 of those over the age of 45, I don't know where you boys are at on that, but I'm in that
We're there.
45 game,
We're there.
say that they're lonely. I can't imagine what those stats are since the pandemic hit. You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so with that, we've got a lot of work to do. The church has largely ignored or not really been attuned to mental health issues.
Right.
And you don't give well what you don't do well. If you don't understand it, you probably ignore it. But I'm telling you, people are flooding, I believe this, flooding back to the church looking for help and hope. The church needs to be the place where they find that help and hope. And God help us to get there and get this done. A lot of conversations going out there, from abuse to loneliness to, like you said, mental health at every level, serious mental health issues.
And as the people come to the church looking for help, the church needs to be prepared and not just go, here, read this book and you'll be better. How can the church prepare for this?
One of the things we launched about 14, 15 months ago was a training program to develop mental health coach, first responders in the local church. This program we launched, we had no idea. We had worked on this prior to the pandemic, launched it in May of the pandemic last year. It exploded. We wanted 750 churches, 7,500 people training in the program. We're up over 6,000 churches now who are in
Wow.
this program. We've got almost 15,000 students who are studying. The goal, again, is to eradicate that shame, that silence, that stigma around mental health. And by the way, train people over a cup of coffee who can recognize patterns of depression and more, and then know what to say when you don't know what to say, and know what to do when you don't know what to do. The beauty out of all this was we got some people to get behind it. It's free to the students who pastors uniquely believe are prepared to do that kind of work in and through their church. My dad was a pastor. That's what I want. I want to see people looking to the church with confidence when they're hurting, because they're most open for change in their life at that time.
What a shift. We're talking with Tim Clinton of Family Talk. You can hear Family Talk with Tim and Dr. Dobbs Monday through Friday at 12:30 on Faith Talk Atlanta. And you can find out more. There's a link on our website, by the way, to check out all the resources. Yeah, what a shift in the good sense, not the mental health challenges, but the solution there. I know 30 years ago, I led a church on the South Side here in Atlanta, and you didn't talk about mental health. You didn't talk about depression, and I had my own challenges. I didn't know who to trust. I mean, somebody would turn you in, and then you're out on a rail. So, but thank God this has turned around, is turning around, and folks are getting trained, and we appreciate what you guys do. I read an article, I think we brought it up on the show, I think it's been a couple of months now, that the data is coming in from folks that were at home for, however many months during the pandemic. And, spouses spent more time with their spouses. And there's like 50-60% of the spouses that stayed home are calling it quits or trying to find a former partner on the Facebook. So it's just all kinds of craziness. It's this stuff has manifest all over the place, but thank God we do have the solution. And again, we appreciate you guys, what you do. Let's go ahead and segue into the Extraordinary Women's Conference coming up August the 21st at First Assembly in Griffin. Sheila Walsh, Valerie Burton, Eva Rodriguez, Jason Crabb, Margaret Feinberg, Julie Clinton, and more. Tell us what folks can expect, Tim, when they show up.
One-day event, kind of like a girls' day out. We've never done a one-day. We typically do a Friday night and Saturday, but this is a one-day at First Griffin Assembly down there. And I'll tell you, the mission is to, quote, encourage your heart and to be a part of her life from that event on. And the lineup of speakers, you got, like you said, mental health, Sheila, man, she just pours it out. She's going to come running into that place. But to help subside or deal with that stress and anxiety level, that loneliness piece that's out there right now, we're just praying God takes this and speaks into her life. They're going to be big on praise and worship. Jason Crabb's coming in, and he's going to do it all. And this is kind of like a strong trial run for us on a one-day event, saying, hey, God, is this something that you really could use in and through communities across the country to encourage the hearts of women for such a time as this? I think it's going to be a big deal, you guys. My wife, Julie, heads it up. They invited me just because of the mental health. I usually don't get invited. It's all women, but I'm going to come in there and try to stroke one down the middle of the fairway, if you know what I mean.
I was going to say, do you go in with a little fear and trepidation being a man amongst all those women?
Well, when I was a kid, I couldn't wait to get in a room full of women, you know that. But now, it's like when the women get together and they pray and all that, it puts the dogs up under the bed, if you know what I mean.
Tim Clinton of Family Talk, and talking about the Extraordinary Women's Conference coming up August the 21st. Sheila Walsh, Valerie Burton, Eva Rodriguez, Jason Crabb, as he mentioned, doing the worship. Great pick there, Margaret Feinberg and Julie Clinton. Don't want to get the cart before the horse. They're going to get a lot of great testimony, a lot of great ministry, and there are probably resources there as well they can take home. But ladies, once they get home, Tim, how do they put that stuff together to continue on?
You know, practicality, tools, tips is really the focus of our events. We want to speak into her life, not just give her an experience, give her a way forward. And so from there, of course, you're right. There are going to be a lot of resources. And then we work hard at staying connected and speaking into the lives of those who attend our events, whether it's through devotionals, words of encouragement, webinars, and stuff like that. So Julie and them, they've got a great team and a great plan. And I think the women will be really, really excited.
You can find out more details at faithtalkatlanta.com about how to sign up and get registered for that conference. And real quick, Tim, I just want to give a quick plug for one of your books that just looks amazing. The Struggle is Real. Tell us real quick about that book and what you hope to accomplish with that.
Yeah, Dan, thanks. Again, going back to mental health in the church, the strategy with The Struggle is Real was to help equip churches with what to do on various topics and issues. So we went out and sought some of the best leaders in the world, experts, mental health and ministry experts, to speak into issues like trauma, pornography, grief and loss. And that book is kind of like a textbook manual for church leaders, for mental health leaders, for people who had women's groups, men's groups, and more, to help do that kind of ministry in and through the local church. We're just trying to raise the bar a little bit. It's amazing to see what God's doing. We've got a big event, a world conference coming up in September. We got people coming in from all over, all 50 states and nearly 20 countries around the world. It's the AACC Waymaker World Conference. Again, it's doing the very same thing. God raise up an army in and through the local church. Those are the men and women who God's uniquely prepared. People come to them asking them for prayer, direction, or whatever, and they're the ministry go-to people. Those are the people we really want to speak into their hearts, their lives. We've been doing it at Liberty for, my goodness, almost 40 years now with our mental health programs. It's become probably the largest counselor training program in the world up here, going through our residential and online programs. It's exciting to see where God's taken mental health ministry in the church.
Very cool.
Tim Clinton, Family Talk with Dr. Dobson, Monday through Friday, and we've talked about the Extraordinary Women's Conference. Check that out as well. TimClinton.com is a great place to go to. Also on our website, there's a link you can follow these guys. Tim, we would love to talk to you sometime September, October, kind of catch up, maybe post-conference, pre-conference, and then see what's going on the rest of 2021 and then 2022. What do you think?
I'd love that. And boy, I'd love to get down there and maybe get on a river somewhere and catch a few fish or something together.
We could do that. We have a river. I don't know how many fish are in it. It depends on, depends on where you get it.
Dan, Rick, it's been fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim. We got to take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.